I'm not speaking as someone who makes a lot of money off of you. I'm speaking as your friend.
If you're hearing our voices, that means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Do you make any money off me?
Nope. So I said I'm not speaking as someone who makes a lot of money off of you.
Just that first part. I was already not listening. God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta be better. I gotta be better.
Well, I'm just speaking as your friend.
Damn you. Okay, so we're back with our full breakdown of the 2010 rom-com Valentine's Day.
Yeah, generously using those terms, romantic and comedy.
Yeah. Why don't you give a quick update on a reminder of what this is, and then we'll go through
the usual?
Yeah.
Like an episode. We'll just do an episode.
Yeah, we'll do the rest.
Let's just do an episode today, bud.
This movie somehow is about Valentine's Day, but is so depressing.
Yes, it sure was. I'm very sad. So the premise here, in case you forgot, intertwining couples and singles in Los Angeles break up and make up based on the pressures and expectations of Valentine's Day. Which...
there's nothing...
That sentence doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, like you can't latch on to anything there.
People in LA live and live.
Holiday.
Not enough death in this movie, I'll tell you that.
No, definitely not. So we did not hit our expectations or prognostications, I don't think.
Well, I thought this movie was going to turn into Dude, Where's My Car? And it did not. So devastating loss for me.
I don't even remember what I said. Do you?
I think you just enhanced my Dude, Where's My Car?
I think that's it.
And then what we started mixing something else in at the end. I don't remember anymore. But yeah.
Exceeded our expectations of how bad it was.
Yes, that. I was like, where are you going with this? Exceeded expectations, and in what way? But yes, in the bad way. Yes.
Yeah, it truly earns its Rotten Tomato score.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it a lot lately because I think we've been making good picks, I guess. But I think this is one of the worst ones we've done. I didn't enjoy this at all. Give me Clownter, guys.
Going on a little soapbox here.
Great.
Rom-coms do not need to be 2 hours long. This movie's 2 hours and 5 minutes.
I know.
This is for every filmmaker out there. Do not make a movie you don't need 2 hours to make a movie.
Any movie, really.
Any movie. But hey, sure, you get some epic. Sure, if you want to be...
but I don't know, Lord of the Rings, don't be that long.
You don't need to be that long.
Harry Potter, don't be that long.
No rom-com needs to be longer than an hour and a half. I'll give you an hour and 45 minutes, but that's pushing it. And that's including credits, so an hour and 40 minutes. That is your cap for a rom-com. Stop it. That's your zone.
I guess that's fair.
All right, I just had to say that.
I appreciate it.
I hope someone's listening. Someone who can make a change. Because
they're not. They're loving this. Say Levy.
Well, I walked away from this movie enough times where I think I actually only watched an hour and 40 minutes of it, so it kind of worked out. But
oh my god, I sat through the whole thing dedicatedly.
It felt like the Snyder cut of rom-coms. Like I don't need this.
Yeah, that's true. There was a lot of plot you could have just cut.
You could have cut 2 or 3 storylines.
Yeah.
Cut the storylines.
Cut half of it.
We don't need it. Don't need it. Yep. But it made a shit ton of money. So should we get into quick info? We could talk about how depressingly much money this movie made.
Yeah. Damn it.
All right, so this is directed by a dead friend of the pod, Gary Marshall.
Yep.
He did New Year's Eve, which we just done recently.
Possible enemy of the pod, Gary Marshall.
Yeah. Sorry, Gary. You could only ride on Pretty Woman for so long.
Yeah, he's dead now. So who cares?
Yeah. Screenwriters, I guess, enemy of the pod too. Catherine Fugate, she did New Year's Eve. And some other handfuls. Actually, she's done a lot of stuff. She's done a lot of TV stuff. Xena Warrior Princess. She's been around for a long time. So
I know that's why I hesitate slightly on Enemy of the Pod, but she's anti-redeemed herself enough.
This movie's just so bad. You think after writing that much, you would. But hey, again, it made money, so I guess that's all that matters. Abby Cohn and Mark Silverstein were part of. They're listed credited for the story. Fugate's credited for the screenplay. I think Cohn and Silverstein are like writing partners. They did Never Been Kissed or something, some TV shorts, stuff like that. So
Lame.
A lot of romance stuff, which, hey, people like it. So, who's in this movie? Jesus Christ.
So many people.
We're not going to go by character names because it'd be too hard. So we're just going to go by actor names. But here's the quick run. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Garner, Anne Hathaway, Ashton Kutcher, George Lopez, Jessica Alba, Bradley Cooper, Jessica Biel, no, Julia Roberts, Emma Roberts, Patrick Dempsey, Héctor Elizondo, Shirley MacLaine, Jamie Foxx, Topher Grace, Eric Dane, Queen Latifah, the Taylors, Taylor Swift and Lautner,
Okay.
and Larry Miller.
Who's Larry Miller?
Our guy. They played the oversized ticket clerk guy at the airport.
Oh, yeah.
Oversized luggage guy.
I do love that guy.
Who is like, again, one of two redeeming things in this movie.
Yeah. I thought you were going to give me Franklin's actor's name there. I hope he's doing good.
I hope he's doing good too.
Did I forget in Trailer Trash, as I often do, that Jessica Alba is a friend of the pod?
Jessica Alba is not a friend of the pod.
Jessica Alba is a friend of the pod. You forgot.
I forgot. What did she do?
Barely Lethal.
Oh,
one of our favorites.
Wow.
Go listen to the Barely Lethal episodes if you haven't.
Great call. Wow, I completely forgot that one. Barely Lethal. Barely
I was
Lethal
going through
2? Or was it the first?
I don't know. Search for it.
Oh, no, it's Barely. Oh, wait, no, we did that.
we did that.
We've created the buzz that Barely Lethal 2 is coming single-handedly.
That's right. But probably won't be starring Jessica Alba. Didn't she die in that? She's like the villain.
I don't remember. She is the villain. Did she die? I don't know.
I don't know. Who cares?
Who cares?
But yeah, I was like, well, there's more friends of the pod in this than I thought. And,
and we got Emma Roberts, we got Jessica Alba, we got Ashton Kutcher now because we did New Year's Eve with him, right? Anne Hathaway's not. Jennifer Garner
is.
Yep. Jessica Biel is. She's best friend of the pod. She's BFF of the pod now.
Call us.
No Pat Dempsey. Héctor Elizondo, friend of the pod. Topher Grace, no. Eric Dane, no. Queen Latifah, no.
Queen Latifah, no.
Taylor Lautner, definitely friend of the pod.
That's right. Taylor Swift, I think, because we probably talked about Taylor Swift at some point.
Yeah. All right, so that's everyone that's in this movie. Oh my god,
love it.
Need it. Then we go to production budget and box office revenue. Are you ready? You ready?
Do I have my pants on? Yes.
Yes. Do you have clean underwear on? This movie, internationally, worldwide, made $217,569,328.
That's too much. That's like 58,000 fanatics.
And that's a pretty even split between domestic and international too. So
unbelievable.
And then it made another basically 24 million on the video home sales, Blu-ray and all that. Wow.
I think Thais contributed to that box office number. I think she saw it back in 2010 in the theaters.
Oh my god. Production budget, you ready for this?
Yeah.
52 million.
Ooh, I think that's kind of expensive for this. Like New Year's Eve was like 20, wasn't it? New Year's Eve was low.
Yeah, I think it was. Maybe maybe they're like, hey, can you do the same movie but for less so we can make more?
Yeah, probably. It's probably Brad Cooper.
Yeah, maybe.
Budgets suck.
Yeah, so
George Lopez, real budget suck.
Demanding.
At the time, George Lopez, the peak of his powers in 2010.
Not wrong.
I hate George Lopez.
So 52 million, and you figure, another 30 million on marketing maybe. So whatever. Even if they spent 100 million, this movie made money. This movie made a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, that's why they did it again.
Yep. Please stop.
You don't have to.
I understand it's a business, but just please stop. This is a business that does bad things.
Yes.
Oh, God. All right. So Rotten Tomatoes score, it's 18% on the tomato meter, 47% on the audience score. So
makes sense.
So people didn't like it, but still paid to go see it. Did you watch the trailer?
No.
All right. So that's that. You want to Holly pitch me, motherfucker?
Yeah, I guess so.
This might be a little rough, but we're gonna rough through it together.
Yeah, that's right. So I think it's obviously X-Men: Days of Future Past. That one's undeniable.
Yeah, it's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Meets Dennis the Menace, which is my wishful thinking. Now, hear me out, as you always do. X-Men Days of Future Past has too many actors in it. Just like
That's a great call, actually. It does.
And they look enough alike that I can't tell them apart sometimes, just like this movie. Maybe an issue with my face blindness, but I think an issue that everyone has, right?
Yeah. There's too many. There's a certain point you're over celebritied, and then you're just like, all right, I just have too many.
That's right. Also, I'm going to blame Tricky Dick Nixon for this movie.
Wow. Okay.
One of the core villains of X-Men Days of Future Past. In case you forgot. I think he's probably also responsible for the climate of the country in 2010. Where a movie like this is allowed to thrive.
Yeah. Carry on. Continue.
No, I don't think I have anything else. Expectations of Future Past.
It's just too many actors and Tricky Dick Nixon. Okay. Yeah.
And both end with me kind of unsatisfied because this movie stunk. And X-Men Days of Future Past ends with that like kind of teaser for Apocalypse.
See ya, the sequel.
Right, exactly. And I was like, oh man.
Just give me the Apocalypse.
Right, exactly. So yeah.
Okay.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Meets Dennis the Menace because I wish Franklin was the star of this movie instead, like Dennis the Menace.
Yeah.
And I would just imagine him getting into like all kinds of hijinks, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
like-
If they did Franklin. Yeah. Franklin the
Right.
Menace. And then he gets involved in all the storylines. Yeah.
Yep, pissing off Mr. Wilson left and right, like, you know, ding dong ditching people,
Burning down the flower shop that Ashton Kutcher owns.
Yes, exactly.
Getting into level 1 arsony. Yeah.
He did so many things with fire in the Dennis the Menace movie.
Right?
Yep. Beat up Switchblade Sam. I'm assuming there's a kid named Switchblade Sam in this movie.
Probably.
We just didn't know. Right. Uncredited Switchblade Sam. Which, like, also pretty bleak for a kid's movie in 1993, if you ask me.
But hey, 93, you know?
Yeah, it was a different time.
Different time, as they say.
And yeah, so that's what I wanted. I wanted just hijinks from Franklin because he's the best character in this whole thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And like, that's kind of it.
No,
Maybe the worst pitch I've ever done. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't bad. It could have been better, but you had the good threads there. You see what I did there? That was a compliment sandwich I'm giving you there. So.
That was pretty good. Listeners, let us know. Give me feedback for a change.
Oh man,
good or bad?
I can't say anything because I don't have much better here. So
yeah, what do you have? Pitch me,
okay.
motherfucker.
Okay. I'm going. It's Pulp Fiction meets Loverboy.
Okay.
So
go on.
Pulp Fiction going for the all-star cast, right?
Too many actors.
Too many actors. Multiple thread lines that all interconnect, right?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
L.A., California, right?
Oh yeah, it's character. Yeah.
It's a character. It's always a character. Uncomfortable moments.
Yep.
Awkward moments.
Yep.
Yep.
Few bad jokes.
Yep. A few bad jokes. And I think that's it.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. Now, Loverboy, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this one.
Definitely heard of, but have not seen.
It's a 1989 flick.
Good year.
Starring Patrick Dempsey.
Nah, I don't know who that guy is.
He's in this movie.
Yeah, you told me that.
Valentine's Day.
You keep telling me that.
In Loverboy, he plays a kid trying to pay tuition, college kid trying to pay tuition, blah, blah, blah. Gets a job as a delivery guy and then starts having affairs with all of the wives he delivers pizzas to. And then they find this out and they start ordering pizzas and he shows up and has affairs with all the quote unquote cougars, as they call them in the logline.
Interesting. And then in the sequel, he like, you know, gets like made up like a fancy sex worker and like they do a Pretty Woman thing, right?
Yes. And then in the third one, it's the carry on of his storyline in this movie where he grows up, he goes back, he finishes college, he's a med student, becomes a doctor.
Yeah.
Gets married, has a kid, but can't escape that gigolo lifestyle. So then he's cheating on his wife with Jennifer Garner. So see,
classic Deuce Bigelow, and at this point, the pretty woman is a soldier in the army.
There you go. So,
makes perfect sense.
Boom.
I'd watch all of those before I watch this again. Loverboy, huh? Good pitch. Good pitch.
There you go. I think I pulled it back together there. So there you go.
I mean, it ties perfectly together. Yeah.
I think so too.
Great work, Us.
All right, these fast facts. There's a lot of them, but I'm gonna crank on them.
Oh, I'll slow you down. Don't worry.
All right. Someone did some math here. Julia Roberts, not us. So
okay.
If it's wrong, don't blame us.
Yeah, not Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts was paid $11,952 for each word she says in this film.
Oh my.
251 words in return for reportedly a $3 million paycheck.
Incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that math adds up to exactly $3 million, but whatever.
Yeah.
Her contract also said she'd receive 3% of the film's gross.
She got points?
Yeah, the film was a huge, I mean, it's Julia Roberts. Film was a huge success, and she wound up with a nearly $10 million payday.
Incredible.
What?
Julia, what a shrewd business person. I love it.
251 words, you make $10 million.
If I had a nickel.
For every word we said? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I'd have at least $11,000.
Oh, my God.
Man.
All right, little actor connection stuff. I cut a lot of these out, but all right. So we had Julia Roberts, Héctor Elizondo, Kathleen Marshall, and Larry Miller appeared in Pretty Woman and Runaway Bride, both directed by Gary Marshall. The hotel where Topher Grace's and Anne Hathaway's characters have dinner is the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, which is the same hotel featured in Pretty Woman, which I think that's a fun one.
Oh, this is where I'll bone you then.
Yep.
Our boy Héctor Elizondo in every one of Gary Marshall's movies. Did you know that?
Yeah, we knew that from New Year's Eve. You weren't paying attention, were you?
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good.
Well,
okay.
And the listeners probably weren't either, so I'll tell them again.
That's a little reminder.
Did you know that Héctor Elizondo?
That's a fast fact.
Every Gary Marshall movie.
That's a forgotten fast fact.
Yeah, forever forgotten.
I did not. I know that actually. That's
incredible, right?
Yeah.
What a career.
What a career.
Héctor Elizondo. What a guy. Stand-up guy. Fuck you. If you want to be on the podcast, send us an email.
This features one of the largest ensemble casts in Hollywood history.
Wow.
So,
okay.
When we see Julia Roberts and Bradley Cooper for the first time, they're on an airplane. The captain says, 3 days of rain. The two starred together in a Broadway play called 3 Days of Rain in 2006.
All right. I kind of like that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm okay with that one. I'm okay. There's another one like that. So,
okay.
This is the second biggest opening for a rom-com, just behind Sex and the City in 2008 with $57 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. I didn't know Sex and the City had the biggest opening for rom-com.
I think that movie was huge.
I mean, sure, I bet.
People love their sex in the city.
And the city.
And the city.
It's a character.
In it, and in it, and on it. Mm-hmm. All over it, really. Mm-hmm. Jamie Foxx recorded a song for the film called Quit Your Job. Although it was featured in the film, the song never made it onto the soundtrack album because of its profane lyrics.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we might have to dig that up and share it with the world.
Yeah, I was hoping he was going to give us a little Ray, but no, we didn't get enough. Nope. He played the keyboard for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
So there's a scene where we'll explain when we get there. But there's a scene where they're in a cemetery watching a movie, right?
Yeah.
It's Edgar, who's played by Héctor Elizondo, right?
Yeah.
And now, I'm sure, I don't know if you knew this, but they're doing like a movie in the cemetery, which is a weird thing. But on the movie screen is the movie Hot Spell from 1958. And pictured on it are the two main characters. He mentions that the woman on the screen is his trifecta. That's his, we'll explain when we get there. When asked if he meant literally the actress on the screen that was his girl, his woman, he says, yes, literally. And the actress on the screen was Shirley MacLaine.
I did get that.
Okay.
But also, does that mean that, like, is she credited as Shirley MacLaine, like as herself in the movie? I hope so. Or did they make up a fake name for her? Because that's annoying.
They made up a fake name for her. So she's Estelle. Remember, she's Estelle in this.
Right. Yeah. Just credit her Shirley MacLaine then. That's way funnier. Way better bit.
Speaking of names, the name on Julia Roberts' uniform says Hazeltine.
Is that like Ovaltine?
Yeah. No, Hazeltine. It'd be Hazeltine,
Ugh.
which is no one has that last name. That's ridiculous.
A bad name.
It's a terrible last name. No one has that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a combination of her daughter's name, Hazel, Julia Roberts' actual daughter, Hazel, and Valentine.
What? That's the stupidest name I've ever heard.
Yep.
Does she have a daughter named Valentine? Like,
nope, just the title of the movie.
that's asinine.
Yep. Okay.
I hate it.
Let's see. At the Los Angeles International, this one I like these. I like these little Easter eggs. At the Los Angeles International Airport's baggage claim, Holden and Kate are standing near a couple of chauffeurs. I don't know who those characters are.
Yeah, what?
I don't know who the actors
who's
are.
Holden and Kate? Anne Hathaway?
Oh, Bradley Cooper's. Yeah, Bradley Cooper's there. So Bradley Cooper's character, I guess, is Holden.
Okay.
Julia Roberts. Oh, it's them.
That makes sense. I guess they were on a plane.
Yeah, at the LA International Airport's baggage claim, Bradley Cooper and Julia Roberts' character standing near a couple of chauffeurs who are holding signs that read Ungar and Madison.
Okay.
The main characters of The Odd Couple from 1970. Garner Marshall was a writer, producer, and director of the show.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'm okay with that one.
Yeah.
It's like a little Easter egg. It's an Easter egg.
It's a little Easter egg, but like, I don't know, make it a funnier bit.
I think it's just a little, oh yeah, I'm a big Gary Marshall fan. I recognize that.
No, sure. No, I'm saying like I'm saying not to you, like, oh, good for you. I'm glad. But like for Gary Marshall, I'm saying make it a funnier bit. If you're going to do that in a movie, like tribute things to yourself, like do a little bit with it. Don't just
go all in.
Oh, look, the names on the signs. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, make me notice it. Be like, oh, wow me. He's dead anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, and the moment Topher Grace steps outside the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, he sees Anne Hathaway sitting on the back of the bench, the same way that Julia Roberts did in Pretty Woman, in front of the same hotel.
Wow. All right, I kind of like that one.
He's stealing his own shots.
Yeah.
Since Captain Kate Ovaltine here, Julia Roberts wears the patch of the 101st Airborne of the U.S. Army on both shoulders. The left shoulder,
valor.
Yep, the shoulder signifies that she is presently serving with that unit, and the right shoulder signifies she served with that unit in combat. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
hopefully that's true. It's on IMDb. This is crowdsourced, so who knows?
Yeah, all our military listeners, let us know. Is that true?
Now we're going to go through all the potential recastings of this movie. So here's castings that could have happened. And there's a lot more potential friends of the pod, too.
Great.
Rachel McAdams and Elizabeth Banks, friend of the pod, auditioned for the role of Marley Clarkson, who is played by Jessica Alba.
Yeah. I do remember that name because Morley is a ridiculous name.
Yes, it is. Like who? What?
Like, did they just make that up for the movie? Like, no one's named Morley, right?
Shitty random name generator. Go.
Yeah, listener, if you know anyone named Morley, send us an email about that, please.
Yeah, wasn't it the name of a dog, like Morley and Me or something? Oh, it's Marley.
That's Marley. Yeah, way different. Like, that's a name.
Morley.
Like, come on.
Don't be so Morley.
Be a little Leslie, please. Leslie's a name. See, that's perfect. Be Leslie. That's a name.
Leslie Clarkson. Done.
Leslie Nope.
Gemma Arterton.
Did you say Gemma? Is it Gemma or is it Gemma?
I don't know. I would say Gemma. She's British, right? Gemma.
I mean, that name is pronounced Gemma for sure.
Gemma? For sure?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Gemma.
Gemma's like Morley. That's not it.
Right, pronunciation police. Back off, all right? I'm the one who's going to say all these names, and you get to pick on me.
Yeah,
how about you start pronouncing all these stupid freaking names I got to do all the time?
It's way harder to actually do the work here than it is to criticize you. And
yeah,
I'm going to continue doing what I do.
It's the theme of the show. It's easier to criticize than it is to...
That's right. Than to actually make art.
To actually do art.
That's right. This is our art.
So, Gemma Arterton? I can never pronounce her last name too. I don't even know what it is. Arterton, whatever.
Yeah,
anyways,
who even is that? Who is she from?
she's an actor.
Oh my god!
You wouldn't know her if you saw her. I'm trying to think of something big that she was in. I'm blanking now on it because you got me all over. She was in the Hansel and Gretel remake. They made it all into an action movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Clash of the Titans that we haven't done yet.
Yes, that we keep talking about doing, right?
Yeah. The King's Man. Okay. I'm familiar with her.
Yeah,
Solace.
she's been in stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. She was in it for like 2 minutes in Quantum of Solace. That's right. Anyways,
Okay.
she was auditioned for the role of Grace Smart, who I don't know who that is. Emma Roberts' character? No.
Oh no,
That can't be right. She's supposed to be like a high school girl.
She might have been a youth at the time. This movie came out 13 years ago.
That's true. Okay, let's move on. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
No, Julia Stiles auditioned for the role of Kara.
Who's Kara?
Kara was Jessica Biel.
What? Julia Stiles?
Yeah.
That wouldn't have worked.
But she's still doing all the she's coming hot off the Bourne movies there, right?
Oh yeah. I forgot.
I walked by her on Boylston Street one time.
No shit.
Yep.
I walked by Mark Wahlberg once on Mass Ave.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Look at that. Big city.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark Wahlberg. I'll say it to your face next time I see you.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Oh, hey, what'd you say? All right, so moving on. Katherine Heigl, friend of the pod now, considered for a role in the movie, but was dropped because of salary demands.
No, that's where they draw the line. Not Julia Roberts, like
10
budget.
million. Yeah, $10 million. Oh my god, 20% of the budget. Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Aniston, and Jodie Foster turned down Julia Roberts' role in this movie.
That would have been a more interesting movie, maybe. Although I'm glad Sandra Bullock's listed here because they look similar to me.
You gotta fix this. I don't know. Maybe there's some corrective eye surgery you can do for that. I don't know. You gotta fix that. I don't know what we can do, but
I don't either. I'm so sorry.
I can't pronounce things. You can't see things. It's a speak no evil, hear no evil kind of podcast.
Yeah. I think Sam Worthington and Jake Gyllenhaal look a little alike to me too. Not to seg you into your next fast fact.
Yeah, you're leading me here. That's nice. That's a good.
See, I'm trying to move things along.
Sure you are. So Sam Worthington, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Orlando Bloom. One of those is a friend of the podcast. All turned on the role of Holden, Bradley Cooper's character. Worthington also turned on the role of Sean Jackson, who was
the asshole.
Yeah, no, the QB quarterback.
Yeah, the asshole.
I guess kind of was.
He was a bad man.
Yeah. When Anne Hathaway's cell phone rang in Topher Grace's apartment, he asked if it's techno because he's an idiot. She replied that she thought it's retro, 70s, I think. Topher Grace starred in that 70s show.
Hate you.
Had to give you one.
Yep, thank you.
All right, so this is a fun one because we called this out in the trailer trash. In the scene with Jessica Biel and Jamie Foxx on the couch in her office, behind Biel's head was a jumbo elephant with tufts on it. Remember we talked about this? I was like, is that a Tufts bear behind her?
Yeah, you did.
Jessica Biel attended Tufts in the early 2000s.
Oh, I had no idea.
No idea. That's another famous face around here.
Yeah, what was her major?
Acting.
I don't think they have an acting major at Tufts, do they?
Every school did drama, whatever.
I
don't know. I don't know.
I
didn't go
I don't think they're known for that.
No, they're not. Like dentistry, right?
What? All right, moving on.
All right, last one. I don't even want to do this one, but I'm going to do it anyways. Taylor Swift's first scene in an elevator talking to Jennifer Garner. You can clearly see the number 13 written on her hand. It's her favorite number as well. Who writes these things? It is her. I'm going to read it how it's written. It is her favorite number, comma, as well as she wrote it in her right hand for every show on her Fearless and Speak Now tours. What is wrong with people? Just when you write something, reread it, speak it out loud, and if you sound stupid, then fix it.
What are Taylor Swift fans called?
Swifties. Come on, man.
Yeah, they're not so sharp.
Oh my God.
So it seems.
You better watch out. They'll go after Ticketmaster and come after us.
Great. Listen to the pod. Getting back to trying to be controversial again.
Yes, send us that hate mail.
Yeah, I don't like Taylor Swift, so.
Ooh, power words. I'm not getting on that bandwagon. No way.
You like Taylor Swift?
She got some catchy songs. I don't know.
I was wondering if that was a tattoo on her hand. I was like, oh, does she have a hand tattoo in real life? But
I don't think so. But also I noticed that the news channel that Jamie Foxx works at is Channel 13.
Oh, good noticing.
So I don't know.
I bet Taylor Swift was like, it has to be 13.
It has to be 13.
People are like, why are you so mad about this?
She didn't quite rule the world then. I mean, she was getting there, right? 2010. I mean, now she's.
I think 2010 was like,
it's like
George Lopez, like peak of her powers, probably.
I don't know. She's got even more powers now. I don't even know. It's like,
I guess you're right. Swift dust? What'd you say the fans are called? Swift nuggets?
Those are chicken nuggets you steal from McDonald's. Swifties. Come on, man.
Okay.
Swifties.
All these Swiftos out there are going to come Swift for me.
I think it'd be Swifter you.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Yet.
Once they find out this episode's been downloaded 6 million times by Swifties in their anger for us, they'll be like, yeah, we'll definitely sponsor you.
Yeah, let's get some sponsors, baby.
Because all PR is good PR. Everyone knows that. Okay, that's it. All right, so is it time? We're gonna get through breaking this thing down?
Yes.
Okay. And a little warning ahead of time to all of our fantastic listeners out there.
Yeah.
This movie is a nightmare. It was a nightmare to watch. It's a nightmare to think about again. Yep. It's also a nightmare in the way things are just glued together.
Yes, that's very true.
AKA editing, and just, it's pointless. Everything is stupid.
What Russ is trying to say is, this is not going to be the most detailed scene by scene episode. We're going to gloss over a lot of details because this movie sucks so much.
There are literal cuts to scenes that don't need to exist. And you're like, this is just to show two actors' faces. We don't need to be here. We might
skip them. Yeah.
We might skip them. So, all right. So the movie ends with
and bloopers. Even the bloopers weren't funny. God,
I know. Spoilers.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, so it opens up. We get a New Line Cinema. We know them. Establishing shot. We're in California. Boardwalk, sunrise. We got a radio host. Midnight. Whatever his name is. Midnight Montoya or something.
I don't know. It was annoying. I didn't.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Title card. Valentine's Day. More shots of L.A. showing that L.A. is L.A.
Yep. Just regular people doing regular stuff.
Yep. People hugging.
Aerial shot. A lot of credits. Credits rolled for like 10 minutes, probably.
Yeah, so really this movie's, like, actual content of the movie is probably like an hour and 55 minutes in, but still, that's way too long. So
yeah.
And then we cut to
kayaking. Wait, can we not gloss over the kayaking for a second? I'm like, why are you?
No, I missed that.
There's like somebody kayaking in like a waterway or something, like in LA, and I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know actually where that's gonna. Maybe that's Malibu. I don't know. Like that neighborhood seemed dope.
It did seem very fancy. Yeah.
And I love doing this too, like looking at people's apartments and movies and then trying to tie what their job is and being like, do you actually make enough money to live there? Yeah.
Office mailman, come on.
Right? Living in what looked like a prison. Anyways. So Kutch he lives in this little neighborhood where like there's waterways going through, which I thought like 2010 were they drowning then?
Venice Beach?
Are they drowning then, or is it just now?
They've always been drowning. Yeah, since like 86. Since Reagan.
Yeah, Nixon's fault.
Yeah, definitely Nixon's fault.
So anyways, he's in bed next to a lady there who is Jessica Alba.
Mm-hmm. I forgot already immediately. And I was like, it took me 10 minutes. I was like, who is that?
And this we can go pretty quick because this was straight from the trailer. It's just him giving advice from his dad. He proposes to her. Didn't expect this to be the first scene from the trailer. Like me neither. I was like, oh, interesting. Yeah. So well, it sets up sappy Kutch for the rest of the movie. So anyways, she begrudgingly says yes. Yes. Like, I mean, come on, if you're any human being, you'd be like, doesn't feel like you're on board. Yeah. Okay. Let's get married. So we quickly learn that he's a flower guy, owns a flower shop, or maybe he's a manager. I don't know if he owns it, but he's a flower guy. His best buddy is George Lopez. Yeah. And I think he owns the Sienna, whatever the shop they keep plugging is. Yeah. SiennaBouquet.com, by the way, which redirects to a Warner Brothers page no longer exists. What a waste. Yep. So at the time they did use it, I guess. They had it for something. What a waste. Yep. Not like it's this meets that.com. That's our website. Is that it?
That's right. A great website.
Yeah, you can go there. It's always up. All right, and then they pull out and they almost get into a car accident with cameo from Joe
100%
Montana.
uptime. Sorry.
100% uptime. Yeah, and then they almost get into a car accident with a nice cameo from Joe Montana.
I don't know who that is.
Okay, he's an actor.
Oh, he looked familiar. I was like, who's that guy?
Yeah,
but I did appreciate you freaking moron as he drove away.
And then we cut to news station Jamie Foxx, right?
Yep. Where
So
I don't know. This station is confusing to me. Like somebody's like tap dancing the weather.
Yeah, I don't. They're all trying to find hooks to get people to watch the show. I think that's all it was. Kathy Bates is like the station manager and producer or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, he's a sports guy," and she's like, "You got to go and do Valentine's Day stories because that's what it is." And he's like, "Yeah, I hate Valentine's Day." And that's it.
Makes a great point. It's not even a holiday. We don't get the day off, which I agree.
Concur. So.
Yeah. Then we go to the flower market again, right?
Yeah. Cut back to the flower market. Yep.
Well, this is the big LA flower market. This is like where Kutch does his sourcing, and he's saying he needs stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like give me your weirdest flowers." And I'm like, "You're a flower guy. You should already know what to ask for. You clown."
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't know if the listeners have heard, but I probably told you at some point. I come from a long line of plant people.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Big veggie guy.
Flowers and veggies.
Vegetation. But yeah.
Right, vegetation. That's right. Yeah. My grandpa had a greenhouse. That was his job.
Regular old green thumb. That's right.
Got back from the war and
worked in the greenhouse. I'm doing air quotes for the potential mafia because he potentially knew people.
Different grandpa. Oh. This is my mom's dad. That was my dad's dad. He died very early. He died in like the 60s. No, my mom's dad got back from World War II and was like, I'm going to open a greenhouse, the least profitable business of all time. And then suffered for 45 years. Whatever.
American dream right there.
He lived his dream. He lived his passion, which was plants.
That's all that matters.
My mom got plants from him, and my Uncle Billy took over the shop when Grandpa got too old.
Yeah.
He still worked there until he was like 90.
Continued the pain of
continued the like teetering on the edge of bankruptcy for I don't know 60 years. You love to see it. But it did it for the plants.
Did it all for the plants.
Yeah, exactly.
The plants.
But anyway,
the plants.
I'm mildly offended that Ashton Kutcher's like, I'm a plants guy, but also doesn't know what he wants.
So then
still credits are going, by the way.
Yeah, they're still rolling. And then there's another plant guy there who gives him like a box, and he's like, "Oh, don't open." He's like, "Open these, and it's the right moment." It's like, ugh, I wonder if that's going to come back later to not Jessica Alba. Mm-hmm. And then Jamie Foxx shows up and he interviews one of the other guys there, and the guy's having a hard time speaking. And then Kutch comes in and saves the day with some flower facts.
Well, does he save the day or does he steal the show? Because I do not care for this.
Those two things can go one and one there.
Yeah, classic tall white guy.
You can steal the show and save the day.
I guess so. Just talking over somebody else until you get to promote your business.
Well, I mean, the guy couldn't speak, so I mean, he couldn't. He was fumbling.
Give him a chance. Help him out. Make it about that guy still. It's an interview with that guy.
American dream. You want to sell some plants? Speak up.
I guess this is how you get away from teetering on the edge of bankruptcy.
That's right. So he's on TV, and we cut to the Garner house, right?
Oh, I just saw some tall building.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're in some apartment. It's
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, Patrick Dempsey, their cheating guy. He's they're trying to make it seem like they're a couple, but you can tell he's like, something's wrong here. But she's all in.
Apparently, Thais is big into Jennifer Garner. I had no idea. Dimples for days, she says about Jennifer Garner. So
yeah, no, I guess not wrong. So.
Yeah, I can't tell her from Anne Hathaway this whole movie. I had to ask her 100 times. Is this Anne Hathaway or Jennifer Garner? I got it right probably 60% of the time.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. So they talk about nothing really important here. All you get is that he's a divorce doctor and she's single, which is already a red flag because he's not divorced. But
that's right.
He's traveling on Valentine's Day, so he won't be around. And you get this, he catches Kutch on TV giving us a moment how important love is. And, you see Dempsey kind of give a look.
And he does have a weird line about crawling over cut glass to take her to the winter formal. And
I don't care for it.
Don't care.
And we get to the
trailer scene.
Yeah, trailer scene, right? Shot from trailer. Anne Hathaway taking way too many photos of Topher Grace in bed.
Way too many.
I think you get one or two, but then after that, it just becomes pornographic. Like, you got to just...
Then it's art, right? Then it's like, are you paying me for this?
Yeah, because like, I'm not a model here. Like,
that's right. You a pretty woman me now? Or
yeah, it's taking a lot of photos. At first, I was like, "Is he live in a prison?" There's like boxing gloves and like concrete walls. I was like, "No, it's just like one of those really modern, cool-looking apartments that no one can afford."
Right, exactly. So modern.
Only Hollywood characters can afford.
And apparently, he's like doesn't like the pictures because he thinks he has a big nose, which I don't think anyone has ever said about Topher Grace. So
yeah, I don't think it's not the first thing that comes to mind.
No, I can pick on his appearance for lots of other things, but I won't because I'm better than that.
That's right. You'd be better. And then she all of a sudden realizes she's running late, and she gets in a hurry and she leaves. And she has this is where the techno phone ring, 70s show, whatever.
And
that
Topher
comes back later.
Shoots hoops in his room like a friggin' college kid. It's like, what 25-year-old has like a little mini basketball hoop in there?
So we get outside, and she answers a phone on her moped there, and we find out she's a phone sex operator.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh. I was like, this feels like a joke in another movie we've done, but I couldn't quite pinpoint it. And I was like, was this in New Year's Eve, or was this another movie we
did?
Where, like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was another movie I watched where like someone was hiding the fact that they were like it doesn't matter, whatever.
It was this movie. We watched this before. We already did an episode on this, actually. Listeners are going to point it out.
Yeah.
You guys did this one 2 years ago.
No.
Yeah. You can't expect us to look back that far.
All right. So then that's fine, right?
Yeah. That whatever the woman in this scene here, like that's like listening in on the sex phone call. She's one of the two funny characters in this movie.
Yeah. This was kind of funny. Yeah. So.
Yeah. She's like, oh, if you want to have a threesome, it might take me a minute to change. Nice.
All right. Okay.
All right. She's here to party.
All right. So then we're at Hector's house, right? And he's doing some old school V-Day, Valentine's Day stuff for Shirley MacLaine there. Yeah, I don't know. I just... Yeah.
I think this is the beginning of the end of my notes. Like my notes, listeners, are like, with Hector, he gets bees, then he gives wife presents in bed. They both lied in presents. On TV, Jamie Foxx, chubby love dude. Kids there. Grandkid, presumably.
Like stroking out in this moment.
I don't know. The rest of my notes are going to be like this.
So yeah, so we get the kid from the trailer, and at first I was like, wait a second, wait, they set this up. Like, are his parents dead? I thought that's what...
Pace was like, oh, it must be Julia Roberts. Immediately, and I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be someone in you know, right. Like they always do that. They always do the bait and switch on you, like, oh. Anyway, so we had Jamie Foxx in the background TV. Then we're in an elevator back at Jennifer Garner's.
It's from the trailer, I know, but they didn't let the kid do that much exposition in the trailer. But the important thing to note in that scene when he's having lunch with his grandparents is he says he can't eat because he's lovesick, and so that's setting up the whole what he's
right.
The rest.
And then they have some comment like it sounds like his parents are dead. So I was like, this is a terrible bait and switch. But all right, then we're in an elevator. Garner gets a call from Kutch. I was like, oh, maybe they're siblings. They do this in some of those movies. They're not. Taylor Swift shows up. She got a big bear.
She's maybe the worst actor of all time.
Yeah, she's playing a good, kind of.
Disagree.
All I'm doing is I'm just trying, when the Swifties come for us, I'll be like, I said she was a good actress. I said it was him.
You're doing good Swift cop, and I'm bad Swift cop.
Yes. Because when they come, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Taylor Swift stinks on ice. Mark my words.
Okay, I might have to bleep that all out or something. I don't know.
If you like Taylor Swift, you're part of the problem.
The Swifties, they're worse than the mafia, dude. They will take care of us. We won't exist anymore.
Oh, you got to bleep that. You can't call them worse than the mafia.
Oh, no. Shit.
You mean cooler than the mafia?
Cooler than the mafia. That's what I meant by worse. I meant cooler.
And the mafia's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. All those
Italian listeners, right?
Yeah,
right.
All those flower shops they owned. Oh, boy. How do we get out of this?
It's me. Onto the plane with Julia Roberts.
Oh, my God. Yeah, doing a stereotype accent. That'll get them on our side.
It's me, Italia.
So then we're on the plane with Julia Roberts, Captain Julia Roberts here. And we got Bradley Cooper. That's it. Julia Roberts and Bradley Cooper sleeping. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's just to fool you to think that they're a couple, which they're not at all. Yeah. Back to the flower shop. Garner shows up, and no one believes that Kutch is getting married. That she said yes, right?
Confused me. I thought she worked there immediately, and then I was like, no, I guess she doesn't work there. Yeah. But yes, like you said, everyone is in disbelief that Jessica Alba said yes.
I mean, even we are, because we don't believe it. So yeah, because it's not true.
This is, again, my notes. She's a flower person too. No, she's not. She sees Ashton. She's surprised she said yes. Nuns are there.
It's like you were trying to write a haiku and just were terrible at it.
Yeah, I was like, get through this. Get through this.
Yeah, and there's, I guess, a funny baby in the counter moment, and this is where we see Christine Lakin, our friend of the pod. There, she plays, I think, the co-worker of Ashton Kutcher. And she get that baby off the counter, and the woman hands the baby to the nuns behind him, and is like,
"That was
just so you know, we're Jewish." It's like, what? Why is it okay?
I guess it wasn't funny. Never mind. It was funny at first. It's exactly like what they did with the Valentine's Day on Thursday bit later from the trailer that we talked about. Right? Where like, the joke is funny if you leave it. Right. And then they like write the line that makes it stupid. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Very frustrating. Also, a lot of lines in the trailer not in the movie.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
So,
anyways. That too. And then the kids kiss in the scene for some reason. It's kind of gross, and I don't like it.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
But the Kutch offers some terrible advice to Garner. Yes. He's like, "Go fly to see your boy there, Dempsey. Go fly to him." Like, no, don't.
I mean, he doesn't know any better.
Still, I don't do like a surprise. I don't know if that's a good idea no matter what.
It's a good idea if you're in a relationship, maybe. Like if you're in a committed relationship and you're like, oh, I'm going to visit my long distance girlfriend that we've been dating for years. Like, sure. Then it's a fun surprise.
I mean, at this point, we all know he's cheating and whatever. Anyway, so I guess they're BFFs. It doesn't matter. And then shots of LA, skateboarders, Garner calling Dempsey and being like, and Dempsey's just like, "Hey, babe, yeah, I'm pulling to the airport right now."
Yeah, he is not going to the airport.
And if anyone ever says that to you, like, "Hey, babe," like, nah.
Hey, babe. Hey, babe. About to take a flight.
From like,
sorry, yeah, it's the flight deck. I can't.
Captain said to turn off the phones. Captain said to turn off all of our Blackberries.
Tray tables in the tray table position. Tray tables.
All Blackberries shut off.
Sorry, babe.
Sorry, babe. Gotta go, babe. Hey, babe. To Seinfeld. Okay, so then then he's pulling into his home, and he goes in and
I was like, some woman's house, but it's his house.
It's his wife. It's his house. It's his daughter.
I hate the daughter because as soon as he rolls up, she goes, "Did you fix all the broken hearts?" Because he's a surgeon. I'm so mad. Mommy says something about, "Doesn't Daddy juggle well?" And you're like, "Oh, like he's juggling
women."
That's right.
His mistress.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Heavy-handed movie.
It's not even a good background movie. All right, anyway, so
not that dumb.
Yes, it's not that drunk.
Despite the fact I can't tell Anne Hathaway and Jennifer Garner apart.
It's not about dumbness, though, my friend. That's not about dumbness.
That's a condition.
That's an actual condition.
Yeah.
Being stupid. Well, yeah, being stupid can be a condition too.
Depends on who you ask.
Let's move on. So, back to the plane. Yeah, back of the plane. Bradley Cooper's trying to close the window shade with his foot. Like, who does that? Why are you doing that? Just
well, because she's asleep. He's trying not to wake her up.
Doing it with your foot, though? Just reach over and close the fucking thing.
He's not trying not to, like, I'm not trying to defend him. Why am I trying to defend him? You're right. It sucks.
Julia Roberts' week, it didn't work anyways. She still wakes up.
Right.
And then
didn't notice the army uniform the first time we saw her.
No.
And then this time I was like, oh, she's in the army or whatever.
Yeah, the blanket comes down and she's fully militaried.
Yeah.
And she's flying 14 hours for one night.
Yeah.
For this quote unquote guy or whatever. They don't really say specifically. But
she never said. He assumes.
He's assuming, right? Mm-hmm. Which I don't know why she wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm coming to visit my son. It's important.
Because it's none of his business.
Guess that's true. Yeah,
she's It's been 11 months since she's seen her kid. She just wants to get home and see the kid.
A little nod to Facebook, which
yeah, I guess.
Like, were you on Facebook? Why would you ask
unnecessary?
What?
Yeah, cut a throwaway line. Like, don't put that in the movie.
Doesn't need to be in there.
Nope.
Flower
They're
shop.
trying to make Bradley Cooper funny, I think.
Yeah, and
he's not.
He's not. Didn't work. He is, but not here.
Correct.
Flower shop.
Yep.
And then we get Kutcher is kind of annoying. He's kind of he's that annoying guy who's just telling everyone everything about everything in his life. And it's like, dude, no one cares. Shut up.
I did kind of like the Bulgarian woman in this scene, though. It was kind of funny because
it was kind of funny.
Because so she's asking for something Ashton Kutcher can't understand, and so he, being an obnoxious jerk, just goes like, "Does anybody here speak Bulgarian?"
No, speak English with a Bulgarian accent.
Well, first she goes, "Does anyone speak Bulgarian?" And she goes, "I used to speak Bulgarian, but I'm an American citizen now." And he goes, "Does anyone speak English with a Bulgarian accent?" It makes it worse. It's not even funny the second time, but her bit was funny. I used to speak Bulgarian, but I'm an American citizen now. Brutal.
And then the Alba shows up and basically no ring, and we learn that this ain't gonna work out right.
Can you imagine if I actually wore this to work? People would be asking about it.
Like,
and he's like, yeah, like, where'd you get that cool ring? Congratulations. And he's like, oh yeah, and then we have kids, and she's like, what? Why don't we just keep it a secret?
A couple chickens, whatever.
Then this guy wasn't in the movie enough either. Like, at somebody who seemingly works for Ashton Kutcher, one of his friends is like, oh, I'll get you my cousin. That guy does all the dresses. Cher, Celine, Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, then we're in a car ride.
Hector and the boy.
Yeah, Hector and the boy talking about love, and then Hector goes through like a story about his first in love, whatever, and it's grandma.
Yep.
That's kind of important to really hit it home later.
Yeah, 51 years they've been together. When are we going to get there, Grandpa?
Does the story ever end, Grandpa? All right, so we get to the flower shop. This is all stuff from the trailer. The kid buying flowers. This is where lines from the trailer were cut. The whole "you getting married" thing, that was all cut.
Yeah.
He wants to buy a dozen roses. He wants to buy a dozen roses for the best girl in his class. And he wants the flowers sent to his school. And Kutcher looks at the address and he's like, oh, I know someone who works there. It's all coming together.
Best line in this scene, you can map quest it.
Oh, man.
Is the kid's advice for how to get to the school.
I didn't even hear that. Wow.
He goes, you can map quest it. And Ashton Kutcher's like, what?
Even then, he's like, what?
And then he's like, what the fuck? This kid just gave me $15 for a $55 arrangement.
Oh my God. Remember that MapQuest? You would map it and print it out and then have the printed MapQuest on? Oh,
my parents still do that occasionally. I'm like, why? Like, my dad, if they're going on a long road trip, my dad will print the directions.
Hey, what if you hit a place where you don't have service?
It's smart. Yeah, it's smart. Like, our generation is dumb at this point. We'll never get there, but it'll be okay.
It'll be okay. We'll be fine.
This is another scene
from
the trailer.
Yeah, another scene. Mail room. Eddie Brock talking to his bros about dates and time, and Topher Grace is just an idiot again. He doesn't know
his friend's like, you stink in bed, don't you? And he's like, not that bad.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that bad. Huh?
Yeah, and he's talks about being from a flyover state, Indiana. That's right.
Yeah, they call him Hoosier Head, which is not funny. But the bit about he's from Indiana, they only celebrate Love Your Cousin Day is almost funny.
It's almost funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe delivered by the right people, that'd be funny.
Yes. If it were in a better scene, yes.
Like most things, right? It's one thing that, All right, and then we're at the agent's office here, Anne Hathaway, where she works, right?
Mm-hmm. Doing sex calls.
Doing sex calls at work, and Queen Latifah comes in. She's coming in hot as the boss, bipolar boss. Mm-hmm. I guess says some funny lines. Last secretary got fired because she had to go to a funeral or something.
I just wrote the day off. Nonsense. I didn't. Yeah. I didn't write anything.
Anne Hathaway's trying to make an impression. It doesn't matter. So
well, then the funny part of that scene is when Queen Latifah's like, "Hey, who do you got on hold there on the phone?" She's like, "My mother," and then she just like hangs up, and Queen Latifah's like, "You just hung up on your own mother? That's cold. Like, we're gonna get along."
And it comes back, I guess, kind of late. Not really, but all right. So we're in the beach, and we get
Rape Daddy from Euphoria.
Dane Cook here, Dane King, whatever his name is. Dane, what's his name?
Eric Dane.
Eric Dane.
Yeah. He's like the sexually abuses his son in Euphoria and like all the other kids.
Haven't watched that show yet.
Oh, well, spoilers.
Okay, so he's in it.
It's like the first episode.
Yeah, probably set that right off the bat, kind of.
Yeah. So it sets a bad tone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we get some exhibition pretty much from ESPN about him, his career. He's a quarterback. It doesn't seem like it's going really well. They're not sure what he's doing, right? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. He's the oldest quarterback in the league. He needs to retire.
Real Tom Brady over here, right?
Oh, what? No, this guy doesn't have Tom Brady's talent.
Real Tom Brady. So, yeah. They set him up to being, good-looking guy, comes on his, patio there, or deck, and there's women down the beach, and they're like, hey, and it's clearly like, oh, ladies want him.
Ladies.
And then he calls his publicist, who is friend of the pod, Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. Mm-hmm.
And she's having a very hard time shutting off the treadmill. It's kind of annoying. She's doing some physical comedy here, which I don't think fits.
She's not good at that, yeah.
And then they're going to have a meeting.
Chris Farley.
She's no Chris Farley, yeah. So then, they're going to have a meeting with quarterback and the agent. And then she's got her I Hate Valentine's Day party.
Which, critically, we see 0 guests on the RSVP list. She's devastated.
Yikes. So.
And then we get to the next scene. The high school.
At school, yeah, high school. This is one of the redeeming qualities. We get Kristen Shaw shows up, which I was like, oh, yeah, it's her. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's great.
And she does have a kind of a funny line. And Emma Roberts is very open about her having sex with her boyfriend at lunchtime or something.
Yeah, it's like really uncomfortable for me. For whatever reason, Roberts Emma is like, yeah, we're going to have sex for the first time at lunch. And like, we're 18 at least, so that's good. And
yeah, and I think
he's a tromboner.
What was the teacher? She was like asking her like if she could do something, whatever, and she's like, "Oh, so I don't think I'll be free." And she's like, "Well, how about tomorrow? And you'll be done having
sex by then." No, okay. Bye.
Kristen Shaw. That's good.
Yeah, perfectly uncomfortable.
And then we get some of these relationships, right? The Taylors, T Swift and Emma Roberts Emma are friends, and then Lautner and Alex, Roberts Emma's boyfriend, are friends. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and they're coaching each other on. They're like, you got to have a snack before you have sex, or at least Gatorade. And Taylor Swift's like, don't worry, I'll get you a sandwich. She's truly the worst actress of all time.
Yeah, she's pretty bad here. And then she gives him a gift, and it's his own track shirt with her lucky number on it.
Yeah, she's like, I ironed your lucky number on it. And he's like, that's your lucky number. It's very funny. And then I hope that this was a good nod to Twilight here. But Taylor Lautner does a whole bit about how he's uncomfortable taking off his shirt in public. That I thought was very funny.
That's pretty good. Maybe that's giving a little too much credit.
All of Twilight.
Yeah, that might be giving a little bit too much credit, but that's kind of funny.
Isn't this like peak Twilight time? Like, didn't the first one or second one come out like right around then?
It's a great question.
Oh yeah, the first one came out in 2008, so right before this.
Yeah,
Taylor Lautner's having the good life. Yeah, taking off his shirt exclusively
everywhere.
Yeah,
and we're at the restaurant, and we're meeting Queen Latifah, who we learn is Dane Cook's what the hell is his name?
Agent?
Eric
Dane.
Eric Dane's.
Why do you keep saying Dane Cook?
I don't know.
Stop plugging Dane Cook. I hate Dane Cook.
I know, I do too. But he was in like his face popped up with a Jessica Alba movie below this one when I went to HBO, and I was like, he's so stupid. He's so stupid. But anyways, so they're having a lunch meeting, and the QB here is like, I want to take time for relationships, kids, life, whatever. Right. I'm going to have a press conference, right?
Yeah, got to retire.
That's all that comes out of that, I think, right?
Yep. And well, Queen Latifah is pushing for him to not retire, and Jessica Biel's like, let's let him think about what he actually wants out of life instead. Yeah. And you're like, I don't care about this at all.
Yeah. Nope. Back in the airplane, Roberts Julia and Bradley Cooper.
They're playing famously now.
Yeah, playing backgammon. Right?
If you say so. I said game.
Play backgammon, and she just profiles him.
Yeah, classic.
Soldier stuff, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Not much else happens there.
Not bad, soldier.
Cut back to the school. We're in class, and this is just...
I hate that the kid's name is Edison, by the way.
Yeah.
Like any kid named Edison, you want to punch. But this is where we get the reveal that Jennifer Garner is the teacher
of his class, right?
Yeah, and then this is when we get introduced to the best character in the movie, Franklin.
Savior Franklin.
Franklin going on, waxing poetic about the Valentine's Day massacre like a boss. It's like, oh yeah, that's when Al Capone like Tommy gunned all those other gangsters in town in Chicago back in the day. You're like, yes. Keep going, Franklin.
Franklin's crushing it. But then, it's mostly these kids just being kids, which is mostly stupid and then very cruel. So,
right.
Franklin drops the old, like, well, if you were in love, Miss Garner, whatever. And she's like, oh, I'm sad now.
Maybe.
And then that's it, right?
Yep.
Okay. Back to the flower shop.
Yep, exactly. Where we get Grey's Anatomy.
Yep, Grey's Anatomy. He comes in, cuts the line because he's a doctor. So, I mean,
what a tool. All right.
Right.
Excuse me, I'm a doctor. I've got my time is worth more than yours.
Way more than yours. He orders 2 sets of deliveries, tries to do it on the DL with Kutch there.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst that Kutch is BFFs with the woman that he's cheating with.
Yeah. And I thought Thais told me that it was they were siblings. So that's what I had been thinking the whole time. But then we realized later they're not, which is fine.
Kutch and Garner. Yeah, I thought they were siblings too, but
I didn't think about them. I hate this. I don't want to think about this anymore.
Yeah. So then Kutch is like, oh, interesting. You're sending it to the address where my friendly sister lives or something.
And he's like, this woman has this name and this woman has your name, presumably your wife. And he's like, come on, man. I needed discretion. The code's the code, bro. And he's like, yeah, the code's the code.
Yeah.
And then he's sad.
Yeah. What are the chances of all the flower shops you walk into?
Right. Well, he saw him on TV. That's what he got that free publicity.
Oh,
earlier.
That's right. Oh,
they do make it all connect, stupidly.
They do. Okay. All right. So it's not that coincidentally dilly.
No.
All right. Where the hell are we now?
We cut over to the sex kid. I just called him Sex Kid because I don't know his name.
It's Alex. Alex. So I am so confused about this whole thing.
Okay, I can explain this for you.
Okay, so is he Is he showing up at Robert's Emma house or his own house? Okay.
Robert's Emma's house.
Okay,
but his mom is the one that comes over.
That seems so weird. No,
yes,
it's not. It's actually her mom.
Oh, right.
So
it is her mom. Yeah.
I was super confused because I thought Robert's Emma was related to the grandparents, and I was like, the parents are dead.
Right.
And I thought her, so I thought her and the kid were brother and sister.
Right.
Because later on, she tells the grandparents that she's going to have sex or she's there. And I'm like, so their parents are dead. So I was like, this seems really weird. So the kid, he's there, right? And also, so his buddy drops him off and he goes, he's like,
all us virgins are pulling for you.
I was like, why is everyone talking? Why are you telling everyone at school? What are you doing?
This is the worst movie.
Seems very weird, right?
Yeah.
And then I love the kids, like at the end, he's like, hey, if you have any problems, just text me.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Sweet Blackberry. And he's trying to set the mood, right? He's dropping roses on the ground. How does he get into her house, too? So then is he breaking into her home?
No, I think he has like a key.
Seems a bit weird.
I think they've been dating for some time, or maybe they just leave the doors open because it's that kind of
neighborhood. Yeah, I don't know. So he's trying to, he's dropping roses and he's trying to make it a moment, right?
Yeah,
does push-ups, checks himself out, gets a guitar out, gets naked, playing the guitar naked. And I was like, these are my moves. So, okay, I'm tracking with all this. This is
classic Russ. Yep.
Yep, right. Mm-hmm, always play the guitar before, And then I was like, oh, mom's coming home. And I was like, but I was super confused. I was like, so he's at her house.
Yep, because she's looking for Grace.
And then I was like, oh,
Robert's Emma.
Yeah, he's at her house. I was like, oh, this is her mom. But I was like, I thought her mom was dead because she's related to the kid.
Right.
You see where my confusion is?
Yeah, I can totally see that. Yeah.
But then the woman comes upstairs, and I'm like, the interaction is definitely not. That's not his mom. So
you're right. And also, this scene is ridiculous. Because he's playing the guitar naked in the daughter's bedroom. And he's like, I'm rehearsing like an avant-garde art piece. And she's like, okie dokie. And like, that's the scene.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's some hijinks of them bumping into each other and, whatever, stepping on the flowers and it's like chaos. And like, she's just like, don't come any closer to me, yeah.
But she buys it, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. It was so strange. I was so confused. So then he's running out of the house naked with the guitar, his clothes, whatever. And
Unnecessary, because she was cool with it. Like, he could have just put his clothes back on.
yeah, just take a deep breath, put your clothes back on. That's all. So then he runs into Robert's Emma, just driving her bug around.
Yeah. How convenient. Stupid.
Yeah, it's what got even more confusing for me because he was like, "Oh, I just ran into my mom," and she's like, "My mom." He was like really flustered, and she's like, "You mean my mom?" And I was like, "What the hell is happening? Whose mom's dead and whose mom's alive and whose mom is that?"
No one's mom's dead.
Someone's mom should have been dead. I don't know.
Maybe Ashton Kutcher. I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, so yeah, that was that scene, and then we're back to the agent's office, Queen Latifah's office, and we got Anne doing Russian phone sex stuff. Yeah,
pretty funny. It's very aggressive.
Yeah,
good Anne Hathaway bit.
Yeah. Topher Grace shows up with the mail. He's like, "Hey, you want to go out tonight?"
Yep.
And she's like, "Yes."
He like kind of does an E.E. Cummings quote. She's like, "Oh, E.E. Cummings was my favorite."
Yeah.
Cool. He's like, "Yeah, Valentine's Day is kind of a big deal to me. Like, we have to go out tonight." She's like, "Okay."
Yep. And then Queen Latifah comes out and she's like, "How fast does that car move?" He skedaddles. And then she's like, "Who's on the line there?"
By the way, yeah, I know all about phone sex guy on the phone. And she's like,
yeah.
She's like, just answer my calls first.
I was like wondering how this is all going to pay off later.
It's not.
Yeah. And how could you have your phone sex thing go to your office phone? Like,
incredible.
You have a personal phone for this stuff.
Truly incredible. Just bad writing.
Yeah. What a terrible way to try and connect these two things. So,
great place to leave the listeners hanging, though.
Yeah, I think phone sex operator is a great spot to leave things, you know.
Will she ultimately get fired for having phone sex at work?
How much does the phone sex operation cost then? And how much do you make doing that?
That's right. Will that kid, Franklin, actually get some more lines?
Will he become the menace that we all hope he does? Will the flower shop go bankrupt?
Yes. I'll just tell you now, yes. Eventually. Whether it does in the movie or not, TBD. But
there's no doubt. All right, we'll try and answer those. No, we're not going to try and answer those questions. I don't think we will. Maybe we will. No, probably not. All right, well, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back on Thursday with part 2. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That, right? TMT Pod on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And subscribe wherever you're listening. And while you're there, you can also leave us a review. That would be nice. 5 stars, maybe a nice comment or two. Tell a friend. Go tell a friend to listen to ITMT if you haven't yet today. Yeah. The word of mouth. Underrated. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. Yeah. Okay. Or if you have other words not in your mouth, you can send us an email. Put them on the digital platform there, your email, and send them to us. It's thismeetsthat@gmail.com. And we'll read them on Trailer Trash like we always do. But you can also go to the website if you don't want to interact with us, but you want to still get more information. But anyway, that website is itsthismeetsthat.com.